I want to go over briefly what we learned at the beginning of the week and go further and try to articulate a very delicate point and try to get, as Rabbi Shmuel says, into the Indian of Teshuvah a little bit. Talking about Chatoim, let's talk about Teshuvah. But this is all Teshuvah, to understand the real source of it. And the main point that I made on Sunday is synopsized in the Rambam, which you have here. If you have the sheets, there's some sheets here. But the Rambam in Mar Nevuchim, just go over this point over here. Some of them are one sheet, some of them are two sheets, I'm sorry. The Rambam says, Chola chachomim maskimim shezeh inyan kulei hayoyim shishi v'shloi nishtane inyan b'shum panim acher sheishis yimei abreishis. Extremely, a small sentence with huge religious ramifications, because what that means is that, we were marich on this point, what that means is that this whole story that we all know from childhood of Adam and Chava being created and then being told not to eat from the Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra, and then eating from the Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra, the whole story of the Nachash, that was all on Yom HaShishi, meaning it wasn't like us, where the world is created, it's finished, and as the Rambam says, so the Bria is fixed. Of course, there's a dynamic aspect to the Bria, the fruit trees grow, etc., but people grow, people are born. But in terms of the Bria itself, Yesh Mi'ayin, so Yesh Mi'ayin, that the ex nihilo of the Bria, so that was during the Sheishas Yemei Breishis V'zehu. That didn't go further. The whole story of Adam, Chava, Eitz Hadas, Nachash, that was on Friday. That was part of the Bria, meaning that the Chet, is so significant to me, that the Chet of the Eitz Hadas, the original sin, as the Goyim call it, the Chet, which, as I pointed out, doesn't say anywhere that it was a Chet even. Doesn't say anywhere it was a Chet. But this whole story happened as part of the Bria. It wasn't post-Bria, it was part of the Bria. It was hardwired into the Bria. It was a Mac. It was hardwired into the Bria that we did a Chet and we were thrown out of Gan Eden. Possibly, this is already a machlekes, the thrown out of Gan Eden part might have been after Shabbos. The Gemara, there's a steer in the Gemara. One place in the Gemara it says that Hashem didn't want to expel us from Gan Eden on Shabbos. Other one says he did, Shiloh, because it's not clear in the Chumash when we were actually leaving Gan Eden. But that's not the important thing here. What's important here is the Chet itself, the story of the Nachash, the curses to man. Koitz v'dardar tatzmiach lach, b'zeyas hapecha teichel lechem, ba'etzev tel dibanim. All of those different curses, that was all part of the Bria. It wasn't the Bria, and then look what we did. Look what we did. It was all part of the Bria. Meaning that when we're created now, once it's post-Bria, once man was finished being created, because on Friday that was the development, or the for lack of a better word, the evolution or the tweaking of Adam, how he went from being sort of a malach, like the Maharal says, to being sort of a human. There was a process in the Sheishis Yemei Breishis of Adam and Chava going from malach status, being just Yodei Toiv, to eating from the Eitz Hadas, partaking in this world. Look what happens when it's one thing to it's one thing when an alien lands on this earth, remains an alien. But once you start eating the pickles and the lox and the bagels and the oranges, then you become a New Yorker. Then you're there. You're part of the culture. You're part of the. So what happened was that Adam and Chava, if you will, descended as malachim and developed to the point of being what we call today humans. This is a huge chiddush, not my chiddush. I believe it's the Rambam's chiddush, but I think it's once you know it, and it's Pashat Pshat. So this that we have, Bechira Chavshis, this that we have, a Yetzer Hara, this is hardwired into the Bria. There is no, if a person is a tzaddik, he has no Yetzer Hara, so maybe like the Balatani is tzaddik v'toivlai, it's a different kind of a thing. That's a different kind of a neshama, not necessarily better. It's a sort of a malach type of a Ish Elokim. Moshe Rabbeinu is an example, rose to that level on Har Sinai. Vayal Moshe Ish Elokim. Like he lost this human part and separated from the kilo. Some say, the Ramban, that's one of the reasons he couldn't go into Eretz Yisrael. Not that he did a bad thing, but you're different. That's not what Eretz Yisrael is. Eretz Yisrael's a human place, and he was Ish Elokim. So that's the Iker Yesod that we saw. If you go a little further into the Chumash.
The question. Is this fit with the Mamre Chazal that Rashi brings that Hashem said in Am Rishon, Takli Ves Olami? It's mashma that there was already a world, and he's saying don't mess up the world that I made.
That's after the Bechira, meaning once you have Bechira, there's a danger with Bechira, because with Bechira, you can choose wrong. Without Bechira, you're not a person. So, it goes together. I'll just say something very simple, which everybody knows. Together with responsibility goes the ability to do damage. If you don't have any responsibility, there's very little damage that you can do. You're guarded. You're not given the privileges. So it's only he that can build, that can destroy. Which is why Rabbi Nachman famously says, and it's in my email sig, that if you believe you can destroy, believe you can build. Because the ability to destroy Hagufa is because of our executive privileges of being able to build. What's important here is that this was not like we always talk about it as, wow, plan A, plan B. Plan A for the world was Gan Eden Koydem Achet. Man messed up, plan B. Now, Lav Dafka. It could be that this was part of the development of how it's supposed to be. But I want to show you something here. If you turn to the end of Parak Beis in Bereshis, and the Torah ends off the last pasuk in Parak Beis, pasuk Chafei, is Vayu Shnehem Arumim Ha'adam V'Ishtay V'la Yispaishashu. So here the Torah informs us of a phenomenon that it was that Adam and Chava were unclothed, they were naked. V'la Yispaishashu. That's a chiddush. There was no busha. Meaning, if any of us are going to walk outside we don't have any clothes on, or if somebody walks in the room, we don't have any clothes on, so it's embarrassing. It's natural to be embarrassing, unless you're not a bardas. But if you're a bardas, it's embarrassing. Why is it embarrassing? We could try to psychoanalyze it, or we could let somebody else psychoanalyze it. But the fact is, it's embarrassing. So the Torah points to this phenomenon, and says that. And there was no busha. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? That's my question to you. Was that a maila or a chasarn? So let me answer. On the one hand, wow, what a maila. They were like in the mikveh, like they were so holy that it was a sort of like meaningless. That it was like meaningless that they were naked. In other words, on the other hand, Arumim v'lo yispaishashu, Woodstock. Is that such a big mila? I mean, I was there. I mean, not in Woodstock, but I mean that's what I was growing up. They didn't have the same? I don't know what it means. It means that what they were trying to do was, freedom, and let's get over all of the inhibitions, and let's just be normal people, and why all this, in other words, the shita then was that all of which came from didn't come from New York. It came from India. This was this.
It was a natural state.
It was a natural state. What were they saying? And they failed. And what were they saying? Let's go back to Adam Harishon Kodem Achet. Isn't that a normal place to go? I mean, it was a sort of a noble idea. They say anybody who remembers Woodstock wasn't really there.
Yeah. I was there, but I remember.
They're there?
I was
All
around,
right.
but not there.
I was in camp next door. The thing is, no, but the thing is that when the Torah says, "Vayu shneim arumim ha'adam ve'ishtay," I mean, I'm serious here. V'lo yispay shashu. Is that a mila or is that a chasar? And the Torah is telling us this is an important phenomenon. And then says the Torah, v'hanachash haya arum, and as somebody correctly pointed out, the same word, nachash haya arum. So arum has two meanings, which are probably related. One of them is naked and one of them is cunning. Armumius. Haroma. That's with an aleph. But ein loy olav ela ta'arumais. Ta'arumais. Hanachash haya arum mikol chayas hasodeh asher asa Hashem Elokim. Remember the context. Adam Harishon was going around naming the animals. He comes to the nachash. Okay, this is complicated. Like, I don't know, like the mahus of the nachash was complicated, more so than, cats or flies. It was a complicated bria, this nachash. It was arumika, asher asa Hashem Elokim vayarm. Another, it also looked a lot like a person. It was walking. It was hoylech al shtayim. The Gemara says, it was talking. Dibur, like, what are you exactly? And then the nachash, as we all know, we don't have to review the whole story, talked the isha and then the isha into the ish to eating from the eitz hadas tov v'ra. Pasuk Zayin. Batipakachna, once they ate from the eitz hadas, another essential pasuk here. Batipakachna einei shnehem. Suddenly they ate from the eitz hadas tov v'ra. Batipakachna einei shnehem. Their eyes were opened. They started to see. I ask again, good or bad? I just want to make a parenthesis here. We hear so many things, and so many chazals, and so many midrashim, and so many different pshatim and philosophy lectures that you stop looking at the pshutei shel mikra. Like the pshutei shel mikra. Let the Torah talk to you here for a second, and then we'll talk. Then we'll look at the mefarshim. But what is the Torah saying? They ate from the eitz hadas Torah vatipakachna einei shnehem. Our eyes became opened. Is that good or bad? If that would happen to us, is that good or bad?
Usually a good thing in Tanakh when that's referred to.
For instance?
Having a new awareness.
A new awareness, enlightenment. Enlightenment. The Yedu, they had das, which was exactly what the Nachash said, right? Das. Who doesn't want das? Are we davening every day? Das. We like das. Why? That you're calling a chet. I'm saying that this was a development. The development was the Nachash pushed, apparently, Adam and Chava, that's what the Chumash says here, into a place of, okay, you are Ish Elokim, you are created by your Tzur Kapov Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but are you really, this wasn't necessarily evil per se. I'm saying, as I said last week, I'm not agreeing with the Nachash, I'm just trying to understand it. That what he's saying is that, okay, real Tzelem Elokim is your day of Tov V'Ra. You really have to know Tov V'Ra.
Was there Ra at that point in the world?
There was a world.
Where was the Ra?
First of all, the Nachash represented the Ra. That's what Chazal say. But Ra, let's define Ra as earthliness. V'yedu ki erumim heim. Is it Ra? There's a new Metzias. All of a sudden they knew that they were naked. And the mashmois of this pasuk, and it says later on in the Torah, but the mashmois of the pasuk, what did they do when they knew they were naked? Vayisperu ale se'ena vayasu lahem chagaris. They started making themselves some kind of clothing. One second. So what happened here? The transition was from lo yispoishashu to hispoishashu. That's the transition that took place. As I stated in Torah, that they went from a place of not being embarrassed, no feeling of embarrassment at all. Here we are, we're naked, nothing to think about even. So what? We're naked. That was a natural state of events. To all of a sudden, when they ate from the Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra, this is the main thing that happened. They didn't go out and get drunk like Noach did. They didn't go out and go downtown and have a good time to catch a movie or something. Well, it was very simple. They knew they were naked. That's what the Torah tells us, and they were embarrassed by the fact that they were naked. How do I know that they were embarrassed? Because they made clothing. Yisperu ale te'ena. All of a sudden, we must cover up.
And all that comes from the eyes,
Vatipakachna einei shnehem. Nachon.
which comes plus the
Right. So again, all on Friday. So on Friday, all of a sudden, this you can argue that this was the moment that man received das. This was the moment that man received einayim lirois. He got his einayim straight, and this was the moment of busha. The very, very first busha in the world was right now. There was a busha. We were embarrassed.
And the first awareness was busha.
Awareness equals busha. Is busha a good thing or a bad thing? We just discussed this. So you know what? Take a look at Rav Hirsch on this pasuk. Exactly on this pasuk, he says it was at this moment that we graduated from not Ish Elokim to Adam, from behema to Adam, because a behema feels no embarrassment. Now the truth is, I googled this. Do animals feel embarrassment? Like the cat. You look like the cat that just ate the canary, right? I mean, what does that look? a look of busha. So the scientists say, I don't know how they know, I'm not a scientist, but the scientists say that it seems that certain more intelligent animals are capable of emotions, but not complex emotions. So happy, sad is a regular emotion. See, a baby could be happy, a baby could be sad. A baby, you're changing his diaper, is not embarrassed, not blushing. So there is no complicated, there's no complex emotion by a behemoth. So comes Rav Hirsch and he says that at this moment, life became complex. The human psyche became complex, and we became complicated people. But it was a maila because the human is capable of this complexity where an animal is not. So the fact that we have busha was actually a tweak. It was actually a good thing. We were elevated. I'm not sure here.
There's a tweak in the context of having gone against the Torah. We talked about this last time. They had all their Shmonis, whatever they did, but at the end of the day,
we need to talk about what was the Ratzon Hashem here, because don't forget, this was all part of the. He also gave them a nachash, who explained something to them.
How do we understand?
He did say don't eat from it, but we need to.
that's not what they were saying.
A soimer.
That's not
How do we understand that the Zal say Dafki Israel are by Shanim, which means that others are not?
Right. Okay. Yitzchak says good, and I'm going to say better. Rabbi Yitzchak says one of the midos of a Jew is baishonim, kasonim, goim lechasodim, kasonim. Yeah. He is a real Jew, like emotional. It's all one thing. It's all emotional. I have busha. I can get angry. Rachmanim, 2 years in the Gemara. These are all emotions. Goim lechasadim. I feel for another person. These are good things, no? I'm not a robot, but I'll say better. The Gemara says, Kol oisa avera umisbayesh boy moichlin like kol avinoisav. Not the avera that you just did, Kol hois haveru misbayish boy. I have busha. I did naver. What do I do? Where's my head? How small can I get? Right? I couldn't resist eating a chocolate without the hechsher. Yesterday, somebody told me that they were in downtown Yerushalayim, and they went into a new store that sells natural yogurt from a tap, and she said, is it kosher? So he said, we're getting our hechsher in about a week, but it's kosher. And then she said to me, but I didn't really care at that moment. I was hungry. So like honest.
Confession booth or something?
Uh-huh.
Confession booth or something?
I don't know why I showed it. But yeah, I didn't charge. No, the busha, it wasn't confession, it was busha. It was busha. My point being that the midas habusha is really the prerequisite to tshuva. The first step of tshuva, and I would say the first step of humanity as we know it, is the ability to have emotions, specifically and particularly the midah of busha. If you meet somebody that has no busha, it's terrible. They'll do anything. Yeah, that's a psychopath. That's exactly right. A person who has no busha, he'll do anything. All of the simanim of a shaita that the Gemara says, there's a person that has no busha. Bottom line is, a person has no busha. There's no dignity. There's no busha. There's no dignity. A person has a certain type of.
So how are we different from goyim in that respect?
More tzelem alekim. We're a deeper level of tzelem alekim. So a deeper level of tzelem alekim is you're going to see more busha. So again, the eating from the imagine for a minute. I'm just asking you for a minute just to clear your minds of the fact that this was a chet. And as I say, it doesn't say that it was a chet. But what would have been if we didn't eat from the Eitz Hadas would have been Adam Arishan Koidem Ha'achila, Koidem Ha'maisa, V'lo Yispai Shashu, and there would have been no busha. So it seems like busha is not such a terrible thing. Another.
Does that mean we would never had a feeling that we're not living up to our potential? It's that busha.
It's the busha which says to grow and to be something and to become something.
I'm trying to define that busha now. After that, the eyes were open. So now that's that busha, which means I didn't live up to what I can be.
Yeah, I didn't live up to it. I need to be better. I should have been better. I'm more than that. Isn't that what busha is? I'm something more than that. Let's do another pasuk because the psukim here are so gewaldig. The problem is Breishis comes out like on Simchas Torah, and like nobody ever learns Breishis properly. Yeah. But Vayishmu, pasuk ches here. Vayishmu es kol Hashem Elokim mishalech bagon. Suddenly, they heard the kol Hashem Elokim. This has to be important that it's Hashem Elokim. Like Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu. Midas Harachmim, Midas Adin. Hashem Elokim. Mishalech began L'ruach Hayoim. What does it mean, L'ruach Hayoim? So Rashi says it was coming from the west because the day was going down. I'm not sure why the voice of Hashem has to do with the day going down, but it was already at the end of the day. Let's look at Rashi for a second. Pasuk Zayin Vatipakachna, open their eyes. L'inyan hachachma diber hakasuv. L'inyan riya mamash doesn't mean their eyes; it means their chachma was entwickled. V'yedu ki arumim heim. Sagt Rashi, afasuma yodei kshuarim. What's the big deal that they know that they're naked? And a blind person even knows that they're naked. You don't need to have atipakachna a nehem to know that you're naked. But the answer is, as Rashi, it was a feeling. And then here's l'ruach hayoim. If you skip to pasuk ches, la'oisei ruach sha'shemesh ba misham. Right now, like this whole story was Friday. So on Friday the sun comes up on the east. Even then, the sun that Hashem created came up in the east and was setting in the west, and the day was going by, so it was Ne'ilah time, Kilu. It was Bayar Kipana Yoim. The day was going down, And as the day was going down, there was a new kind of awareness here, l'ruach hayoim. And what was going on? Vayishmu es kol Hashem Elokim mishalech bagon. All of a sudden, they hear the kol Elokim mishalech. I'm asking you now, what does mishalech mean? Not hoylech. Hoylech means that the kol Elokim was going in the gan, whatever that means. But what does mishalech mean? Those who went upon. What? What does it mean? I'll translate the pasuk. Mithalech bagan. Mithalech. When you go for a stroll, you're mithalech.
You dress yourself.
Being dressed is mitlabesh. I am dressed. Yeah. So it was mishalech. So mishalech bagan. Why took himself out? He was. Right? What is the mishalech bagan?
Strolling?
He's walking with himself.
Halech bagan. Why doesn't it say a pasha thing?
Walking with himself is like a self-contained.
So tell me a sentence where you would say mithalech. Tough, right? so let me tell you something fascinating. The Medrash says, right, this is a Medrash Bereshis Rabbah Perek Yud Tes Zayin. Vayishmu eskol Hashem Elikim mishalech bagon leruach hayom Amar Rab Chalfain. Shamanu sheyesh hiluch lakol. This is the kol Hashem. Vayishmu eskol Hashem Elikim mishalech bagon vehiluch laeish. There's a mahalach to, in other words, sound travels, fire travels. Amar Abba Bar Kahana mahalech ein ksiv kan. It doesn't say here the kol Hashem was mehalech. Began. Ela mishalech, mikapetz v'oile. It was jumping and going up. In other words, like the Rabbi Abba understood that mishalech began means that the Shechina was leaving. Iker hashchina b'tachtoinim haisa, because at this point in history, the Shechina, this is Friday, the Shechina was b'tachtoinim here on earth. Kiven shechata ha'adam harishain, and you see Chazal use the word chat. Kiven shechata adam harishain, nistalka shchina l'rakia harishain. This is already a famous medrash, but I want to show you the context of it. So the Shechina at this moment lifted up. That's a bad thing, right? Maybe. Meaning the world was no longer paradise, but there was something else here called humans. But let's look at the Medrash to be fair. Nistalka Shechina l'rakia harishain. There are 7 heavens, as we know. Dor Enosh, Shlishi, Dor Amabul, Revi. Shechina is going further and further away. Dor Hapaloga, L'chamishi, Dor Stoim, Lashishi, Mitzrayim, Bimei Avram, L'shvi. Apparently, like another stone wasn't on some little corner of the Dead Sea. Stone, like it was the whole world, it evaporated the type of a negative energy that actually caused the whole Shechina to leave the whole earth. Same thing with Mitzrayim, Bimei Avram. There was something so wrong with it that the Shechina left. Ukenegdam, and the antidote was Amdu Shiva Tzadikim, Elohein, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Levi, Kahos, Amram, Moshe. Each one of them brought the Shechina back down. Amad Avram v'hayrida l'shishi, Amad Yitzchak hayrida min shishi l'chamishi, Amad Yaakov hayrida min hachamishi l'ravi, Amad Levi v'hayrida, from all the tzaddikim, Levi. Amad Levi v'hayrida min haravi l'shlishi, Amad Kahos v'hayrida min hashlishi l'sheni, Amad Amram hayrida min hasheni l'rishon, Amad Moshe. So what's the godless of Moshe Rabbeinu? That he took us back to where? Adam Harishon, Kodam Echet. Amad Moshe v'hayrida milamala limato. Moshe Rabbeinu said this. He says, "Imein panecha holchim al taleinu mizeh." If I want to go with the Shechina. So comes Har Sinai. We were Pascha zu Amasam. And Pascha zu Amasam means that, in other words, the Nachash injected into us a zuhama, a poison of sorts. And here you see Chazal are so against the nachash, unlike me, they're so against the nachash. But when we said specifically, Moshe Rabbeinu brought the Shechina back down, and when we said Nasa v'nishma, so Nasa v'nishma, Paska zuamasam, it was all over. The Shechina took its whole travel up and brought its travel down. If you take a look for a second in the 10th source here, the Chassid Yaivitz, that's not Rabbi Yaakov Emden, that's the Rishon Chassid Yaivitz. Chassid Yaivitz says, Hatikun lechet adam, you have it, Yud? Hatikun lechet adam harishin tamud b'mesha amru l'moishe nasa v'nishma. Exactly the moment where the tikkun took place is when Sha'amru l'Moshe, when the Bnei Yisrael said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Nasa v'nishma. Not good enough that Moshe Rabbeinu is a tzaddik, but we said Nasa v'nishma. Let's just focus on it for a second. What happens when you say Nasa v'nishma? Isn't that the opposite of the Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra? It's complete dependence on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Complete subjugation. No ego. And tlut is dependence. It's dependence. The Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra, so presumably there was no busha then. There was no busha at this moment. So we said Nasa v'nishma, we're completely submitted to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay, so now you just undid, I guess, the Eitz Hadas. Nasa keneged v'atzoichal mina, I'm sorry, Nasa, let's read it correctly. The word Nasa v'nishma, Nasa keneged v'atzoichal min ha'etz. You did something by eating from the eitz. Now you're doing something. Nasa, we're going to do the Torah. Keneged kisha v'nishma keneged kishamata l'kol ishtecha. V'nishma is in other words, you're masaking with Nasa the achila. You're masaking the shmiya that you were influenced by another human being, by your wife, instead of listening to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now you have to say nishma. I'm only going to be influenced by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then what happens? Vayishkan k'vod Hashem al Har Sinai. Karav l'masha haya bat chila, says the Chassid Yaivitz. This is, I want to be medayik here. This is Kimata Rishon. Chassid Yaivitz was part of the Spanish expulsion. He was a great tzaddik. We don't know enough about him. But the Chassid Yaivitz was, he says, Karov l'mashahaya b'tchila. We were almost Karov l'mashahaya b'tchila to Adam Harishon Koydem Achet. Yesh l'farish, we don't want to be Adam Harishon Koydem Achet. Adam Harishon Koydem Achet had no busha, had no yetzer hara, had no bechira. How is that good? We had no einayim to see. What we want to do is we want to have, hear me out carefully now for a second, just give me your ears. We wanted to be humans. This is where we got to at Har Sinai. Shechina went up, the Shechina came down. Now we want to be humans. We want to remain with our Bechira Chavshis, but we want to take the Bechira Chavshis and choose to be like Adam Harishon Koydem Achet, completely subjugated to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as a human. So it's not that it's...
There was no free will before.
Right, there is free will here, and that's why they made an egel a minute later.
Yes.
It's a big, so it's Karov, we came to, so you could say that the matzav of Adam Harishon, let's put it the other way, the matzav of the Bnei Yisrael, when they said Nasa v'nishma, was higher than the matzav of Harishon Adam Achet, because these were humans acting like malachim as opposed to malachim acting like malachim. That's something. In other words, isn't it different when you make the choice? When you make the choice, you've made the choice. So at this moment, says the Gemara, Lashon HaGemara, Paska zu amasam. The zumas hanochash, meaning, let me just say this carefully, the negative aspect of the achila me'etz hadas tov v'ra went away. The next thing, there was men, women, and it was a whole thing. There was no busha. Right after Nasa v'nishma, we went back into the 60s. That's what happened there, and built an egel hazav. bad choices. We made very bad choices. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But what's important over here was that the Nasav and Ishma was keneged the Eitz Hadas, and it was words which brought the Shekhinah down to earth, but with us as humans. That didn't change. We didn't become different than it's going to be. Let me yeah.
In this context, how do you understand the Martin says, an element
Of lack of Bechira. That was after.
How does that relate to
You have to look at the chronology exactly. The Nasav and Ishma, because I said Nasav and Ishma a couple of times, but this Nasav and Ishma that he's talking about wasn't Hakaf Aleim Har Kegigis. It was when Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm going to give you the bris and I'm going to give you the Torah, and they said Nasav and Ishma. It's a different. But I will show you something fascinating. We just learned this medrash. The Ramban on the same pasuk, Vayishmu Eskol Hashem Elikim Mishalech Bagon, quotes the medrash, Amar Rabbi Yisrael Rabba, Amar Rabbi Chilfi, Shemanu Sheishilach Bakol, exactly the medrash that we just read together. But then at the end he says, Reb Abba, who we just learned, reading you the Ramban, Pasar HaKosuv Lihistalkus HaShechina. He's understanding that the pasuk is talking about the Histalkus HaShechina, the removal of the Shechina. That's what the Medrash says. We just learned that, right? Kinyan elech vashuva al makoimi. Va'anu mefarshim, says the Ramban. But he says, I want to explain to you, legilu ishchina b'makamahu. That kol Hashem mishalech, remember the word, mishalech bagan, was not a siluk of the Shechina, it was a gilui Shechina. And this is the correct way to read the pasuk. Yeah. So he's before Shchaylik on the Medrash. It's not I found the Machlekes. He quotes the Medrash, and he says that Rababa is talking about Vayishalech b'toich Hagan, Kol Hashem Yishalech b'toich Hagan is Siluk HaShechina. Hashem was leaving. He says, but I'm telling you that that's not what it means. What it means is Anu Mefarshim Oisai legilui hashchina b'makamahu.
Who's Anu? Who's the
Ramban. Ramban on the pasuk. Anu mefarshim oisai legilui anu. Who's the Anu? Your guess is as good as mine. Anu mefarshim is a royal we. Probably means the Kabbalah. In other words, the Ramban was Abulafian. So the understanding was. So what a machlekes? Did you ever know about this machlekes? When Adam Arishon ate from the Eitz Hadas, they felt that the busha of being naked, the busha caused a siluk hashchina according to the Medrash, and a gilui hashchina according to the Ramban. You know, it's a very interesting. The Medrash was obviously earlier than the Ramban. But the Medrash you're allowed to be chayluk, and the Ramban can't be chayluk at the Ramban. The Ramban says pshat is pshat. The Ramban was a Rishon. He knew the Medrash. He quotes the Medrash. But he's telling you, I'm telling you, what it means is Gilui Hashchina. So let me say something here in the next 3 minutes. I don't think it's a machlekes at all. I think that it's the Siluk HaShechina caused the Gilui HaShechina. The Gilui HaShechina was a new thing, you had the Shechina in the world. Adam had no busha, Adam had no Yetzer Hara. The world was Shechina. Might not have been exactly the Ratzon Hashem, because he didn't create the world because he needed a summer home. He created the world because he wanted Adam to create the Shechina. And it could be that at this moment, the idea of Tov v'Ra, or the becoming on Friday of a human, the consciousness, good word, was Gufa, the Gilui HaShechina. Look, It shouldn't be so difficult to understand this, although it's a very complex idea. Tifereit, as they say in yeshivas, it's tifereit. But it seems to me that there's a tzaddik who has gilui hashchina. There's the person who does a chet, who has siluk hashchina. But when you do the chet, when a person does a chet, it's not recommended practice. But when a person does a chet, there becomes a certain awareness of your frailty, your fragility, your smallness in this world, and you just made room for the Shekhinah. The chet sometimes can causes a busha. The busha is the beginning of tshuva. Meaning, b'makom shebalei tshuva oimdim tzadikim gemurim einam yecholim lamed sham. We're talking about tshuva. So to come to the place of tshuva is to come to a different level of shechina, a different type of shechina than the shechina of the tzaddik gamor. The shechina of the tzaddik gamor is shechina, plain and pashut. But when the shechina has to be miskala me'atzmai, when the Shekhinah is coming from us, when the Shekhinah is coming from a choice, when the Shekhinah is coming from a busha, which is step one, the Rambam says, of mispayish b'maisav, the first step of tshuva, this kind of awareness or consciousness of knowing who I am, what's Hashem, what happened. The being humiliated. An animal can't be humiliated. That's a complex emotion. I'm telling you, I just read that. It's a complex emotion. I could be humiliated now, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because by being humbled, I can make room for HaKadosh Baruch Hu in my life, and that's what tshuva is. B'makom shebalei tshuva oimdim. So this is not just like a little chizuk for those of us that do averas. We all do averas, but the thing of it is that to do avera without busha, b'shat nefesh. It's like a machal Shabbos b'farhesia, you're just a mumar, no respect. Why do Chazal make a distinction between a machal Shabbos b'farhesia and a machal Shabbos b'tzina? I mean, in machal Shabbos, what do we care about the chitzonius? The answer is busha. If you're machal Shabbos, you're machal Shabbos. Lo aleinu. Machal Shabbos, you have to bring a korban. If you're machal Shabbos b'farhesia, you lost your humanity. You lost. If a person does an avera b'tzina, pick your avera, choose your avera. You do an avera b'tzina, so you did a b'tzina, like, okay, it got to me. This could be, a low before the high. This can be a low before the high. I mean, we see it all the time. If you'll allow me 2 more minutes, I just want to learn with you Gemara. I thought I want to learn with you Gemara. Maybe. I'll bring a Gemara Chagiga, just 2 minutes. Chagiga, after Megillah. Megillah Tainus Magan. The Gemara says in Chagiga Yudalad, Yudalad Amud Beis. The Gemara talks about the Chorban Bayis Sheni. Yerushalayim was in fire, and the yeshivas had to move out of Yerushalayim. There's a Lashon Bavli, Lashon Yerushalmi. Trust me on this because I just want to bring out this Gemara really quickly. But I'm reading according to the Girsa that's correct. The Gemara says, Ma'aseh b'Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai, Gadol Adar. He was the one who said Tein li Yavne v'chachamel. He agreed to leave Yerushalayim. And he had the Gemara, you remember in Pirkei Avos, it says, Chamisha Talmidim hayulai Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He had 5 Talmidim. One was, who was the star pupil? No. It was a Hillel. He was a Talmud of Hillel. Rabbi Elazar ben Aruch. Leiv Tov. So Rabbi Elazar ben Aruch, you're like 4 generations. So Ma'aseh Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai shaya roichev al chamor. He was leaving Yerushalayim on a donkey. Okay, fair enough. I guess that was the, he didn't have a Cadillac. V'haya mahalech baderech, and he was going. Rabbi Lazar ben Arach mechamer acharav. And Rabbi Lazar, when you're riding on a donkey, there seems to be a milah of being mechamer acharav. You have a talmud or a servant or guiding the donkey from the back. So he was being Mishamish's Rebbe. Yitzias Yerushalayim. Omer loy Rebbe shnei li perak echad b'maisa merkava. Okay, like, let's learn a little bit, Rebbe, he says, about the maisa merkava. More appropriate would have been if he was, let's learn a little bit of Hilchos Tfilas Haderech, or Zecher L'Chorban. There's so many things to learn about now. We're leaving, I mean, you could just even, I mean, we're Zecher to live here, right? So we could even imagine where they were leaving Yerushalayim, going past Har HaZeisim. That's the way they went, past Har HaZeisim, leave towards Jordan, if you will, leaving Yerushalayim. Shnei parak echad b'maiser merkava. Aber loisa, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai turns around to him and he says, Leikach shanisi lechem, this is not what I taught you. Loi b'merkava, isn't this what I taught you? Loi b'merkava, we don't talk about the maiser merkava b'yachid, we don't have a minyan here. Maiser merkava is the nevuah of Yecheskel. Elim kein hayachacham, the only time that it's mutter without a minyan to talk about the maiser merkava is if you're a chacham. Mevin midaitoi. Interesting, I just want to bring this out and I want to be marached on it later. Mevin midaitoi. What does mevin midaitoi mean? It means that it's enough that I can speak to you beremez and you get it yourself. That's what mevin midaitoi means. Mevin midaitoi means that I don't have to spell it out for you. Mevin midaitoi. Amar Lai Rebbe, so Rabbi Lazar ben Arach says, Tarsheni, give me a chance. Tarsheni loimer lefanecha davar echad. Amar Lai Amar. So he says, okay, Zok, tell me what you have to say. Miyad Yared Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai me'ala chamar. So Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai gets off of his chamar. Remember Yerushalayim burning in the bathroom? V'nisatef, and he puts his talus over his head. V'yoshav al even tachas hazayis, and he sits under an olive tree on a stone. Rabbi Lazar ben Arach looks at him and says, I just want to tell you a vart. Like, why are you, why the big... Amar like, Rebbe, mipnei ma yaradata me'ala chamar. I didn't mean to... Amar, the Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai says, Efshar ata derish v'maisa merkava u'shchina imanu u'malachei asharis melavin oisanu. Listen to the words. You're going to be derish in the maisa merkava u'shchina imanu. What happens when Yerushalayim burns down? Shechina is mistalek. No. Rabbi Yaacov ben Zakkai said, what is the merkava? The Shechina on wheels. What is the merkava? Shechina imanu u'malachei asharis melave noisanu. Malachei asharis are guiding us. V'ani erkav al chamor, and I'm going to ride a chamor. How could it be? Miyad posach Rabbi Lazar ben Arach b'maiser merkava. So Rabbi Lazar ben Arach started to talk about the maiser merkava. V'darash v'yarda eish min hashamayim, and a fire came down from Shamayim. Two lashonos here in the Gemara. V'siviva kol ha'ilanais, or v'sichacha kol ha'ilanais. Either it singed all the trees, or it surrounded all the trees. But they were enveloped in fire. There's a big nafkamina between whether it was a fire of destruction, or it was a fire of protection. It was a different, the Shechina. Whatever it was the Shechina. Paschu kulan v'amr shira, and all the trees started to sing shira. The Gemara is marich in this, and I want to be marich in it also, but not now. But what I want to say is like this: it's an interesting thing. Here you have a case of siluk hashchina and gilui hashchina all at the same moment, because behind them was the fire of Yerushalayim with the Shechina going up, and the fire going up, and around them was the fire coming down. V'sivava kol ha'ilonai, surrounding all the trees. V'sichacha, maybe even doing damage, but v'sivava for sure. So you have the Aliyas Hashchina and you have the Yeridas Hashchina. You have the Medrash, you have the Ramban. And I don't think it's a machlekes or a steer at all. It's two different types of Giluyim. There's the Giluy Hashchina of Adam Arishan Koydem Achet, and there's the Giluy Hashchina of Adam Arishan Acher Achet. The Adam Arishon, the Gilui Ashchina of Adam Arishon Acher Achet is, in the words of Rabbi Yochanan, Einoi Doiresh B'Maisa Merkava. We don't talk about Yeridas Ashchina Ela Mevin Midaitoi, unless you can bring it up yourself. You can't bring it up yourself. You can't do it yourself unless you ate from the Eitz Hadas Tov V'Ra. The struggle, the choice is the falling, for that matter, the Chet, caused the busha, caused a Gilui Ashchina, which was a different type of a Gilui Ashchina that existed. So on the one hand, the Shechina went down, up, and left. That was Yerushalayim. And that was the Dar Mabul. And that was the Dar, left us further and further. That's the Eish Min HaShamayim. And then it finally came down with Moshe Rabbeinu. He saw a sneh, Eish. I see the Eish Min HaShamayim. That's what I saw, Eish. And it wasn't destroying anything. There was no Sichacha Kol Eilanais, was there? There was no Sichacha Kol Eilanais. It didn't burn the bush. Hasnei Nenu Ukal. That's what it says. Exactly parallel to this Gemara. So Moshe Rabbeinu brought that Shechina back down. But that wasn't Paska Zumasam. It should have been right there. When we said Nasiv and Nishma, Paska Zumasam, that was different, says the Chassid Yaivitz. Then we were Paska Zumasam. Then we made a choice with our chasarn, with our handicap of being human, and we created a Gilui Ashchina which was way beyond the Gilui Ashchina which HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us as a gift. In Kabbalistic language, one was Isarusa de Le'ela and one was Isarusa de Lasata. Much holier, much more chashuv, much more permanent, much more concretized, much more real. So, you're talking about the Bayis Rishon, the Bayis Sheni. The Bayis Shlishi is a Bayis Shel Eish, yes, the Bayis Shel Eish, but it's also, there's a whole Hilchus Beis HaBechira to the Rambam of how we're supposed to build that Bayis. So if it's a Bayis Shel Eish, what are we building here? So the answer is that this becomes the new type, the New Age Gilui Ashchina. The New Age Gilui Ashchina is with Busha and is with Teshuvah. So the Pesach of Teshuvah. So this is the to summarize everything in a sense. It's very, I think it's very meaningful. The complexity that we received caused the Siluk Ashchina, says the Medrash. And the Rabbah comes and says, but in its place came a Gilui Ashchina. Why? Because we were Mevin Midaite. And the Gilui Ashchina, this second type, Shchina B, is Teshuvah. That is the Teshuvah process. That's what, let's say, the Balatanya calls a Beinani Shel Tanya. I'm aware that I did something wrong, and now I'm going to correct it. It's not less. But I'm taking what I have and I'm doing. Okay, so we'll continue. Thank you.
And I'm approaching as he's explaining the message.
Yeah. Oh, you're here.